I'll suck your toes, bro. I'll suck your toes.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Oh, God.
Alright, we back up in this thing. Episode 5. SOLtalk Sundays. What I got?
Wait, oh boy, got the sleeveless on? Nah.
Bro, you ain't hear me when I said that shit earlier.
Nah.
No, you really didn't hear dude when he said that. Like,
Yeah, them guns illegal in 27 states, dog. I know Jersey's one of them.
only 27, dog. Come on.
You know the other states is them redneck. They got bazookas legal.
The South, bro. Hooting this cowboy all around. Ah.
Hey yo. All right.
What we doing? Let's get it popping. Let's get it started.
Question.
Right on.
Kick
Right
it
off
off.
the rip.
Do you reach for your phone?
Yes.
First thing when you wake up? And what do you? Is it like
Yes.
snooze or is it you go to an app or
I hit the snooze
or
button.
something?
Snooze.
Yeah,
I hit the snooze.
So y'all don't hop on IG or Twitter.
That's after the second snooze.
Yeah, nah, I reached for the phone too, but I just needed to turn off the first alarm, and then after that, to turn off the second alarm, and then see if I got a text message or send a text message.
Mm.
That's what I be doing.
Ain't nobody like me that much.
I was about to say yo. Whew, that's something that I had to adjust to. My phone be.
Or sometimes y'all be sending messages like hella late, and I'll just be seeing them in the morning.
My phone be coughing. Dehydrated. All right. Yeah, me too. Like snooze, and then it's annoying. I'm mad I do this, but I do check apps before I even get out of my bed, which is
Only app I really go on that
I
is
do
gonna be like iHeartRadio, just to turn on some radio or some shit.
Oh,
Turn on
nah.
some music at the morning
I hit
started.
that snooze. Hit that second snooze. Then I see at the IG. I get woken up by some beautiful women. That makes
Literally
my
or
eyes spring
figuratively?
open.
No, figuratively, of course. Come on.
No, literally. I wake up, I go to IG, and I see some curly haired goddesses on my timeline. And that makes me get up. And then from
Hey,
there,
yo.
I put on the YouTube. You can say hey all you want. It's the morning. I go on YouTube, I play my song, and I get my day started.
Valid.
Oh, what's your song? What's your song to get your day started?
It's a mix. If I'm feeling tight that I go to work, I play the weekend so I can just scream my pain away. If I'm trying to get motivated to go to work, bro, I'll be putting on some 80s hip hop, bro. Talking about F the system. It's my motivation to keep on out. If I'm feeling tired, bro, put on some Afro beats, legs moving. If I'm just tight, I put on the baby. You feel me? I need some hoodie.
Wow.
Need some shit with some bop in it.
Feel me?
Yo, yeah, that's valid. That's for me too. Like, anytime I wake up and I'm just not in the mood, I just throw on the weekend, and then that gets me moving. Bro, I haven't listened to any other artists in such a long time.
I actually haven't listened to The Weeknd for like a couple days, so I've been playing him today. And last night too, before I went to bed. I feel like I
Bro.
disrespected him by not playing him.
Whenever you go back to it, it's so like refreshing.
Powerful, bro. It's like the first time you heard the song.
Facts. So Jams,
I want some
iHeartRadio.
socks.
Yes, sir. Radio station, Breakfast Club, Power 105.1, New York City.
What was that? New York?
Yeah.
Where?
New York?
Power 105.
New York City.
I mean, I could listen to the Philly station. It depends. If they messing up and not playing no music or nothing I want to hear that day, then I just go to the Philly station and hear some music. Or I just hit the shuffle on my phone, or hit Pandora, try to get some, some 90s R&B or some New Edition radio. Get the day started.
New Edition.
Yeah, bro. Bro, don't try to tell me that stuff doesn't bump right now. Don't try to tell me it don't bump.
Definitely would.
There's something wrong with my life.
Hey, come on, Al.
Every time I double his number, I get a big something wrong. Yeah, that made me bump. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, exactly. Come on.
Yeah, they
Al.
do. They do.
Bro, that gets me moving in the morning.
All right, so the assignment I had for us this week was go on our Instagrams, look at our followers,
Took mad long.
look at who we follow, and decide on our top 100. So I'll go first.
Not annoying. 100. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty quick. Like going through it, I realized how many people. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm gonna talk about the categories we had. So I made it that we had to split it up into categories. So
Afterwards, after we all made our list.
So I had 63 people that I was still filed that went to my college. I had 9 people from high school, 14 people that I messed with or tried to, 38 women, 52 men, 6 non-personal, so that would be business or World Star, the Shade Room, pages like that, where it's not one person. 0 celebrity pages, and 0 family. And then you guys can talk about your dynamic, and then I'll get into it.
Okay, so I had 24 people that I went to college with, 9 people that I went to high school with, 4 people that I messed with or tried to, 9 family members or family friends, 8 people that I met outside of school, outside of family members, that I met through other people or stuff. 32 women, 62 men, 41 celebrity pages or people that I've never met, and 6 non-personal pages. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me do this. 30 family, 13 from high school, 23 from college, 7 that I have messed with and or talked to, 57 male, 29 females, 14 non-personal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 celebrities. ED.
And how many family?
13. That's the first one I said. I lied. 30. Yuri.
30?
13 was high school. Well, I've been adopted.
Okay.
Multiple
All right,
times.
Gotcha. Yep. And your family gatherings y'all be having. Yep. Okay. Makes sense.
And I'm black, so my family reached to the edge of the earth.
Yeah. Did y'all kind of a question? I don't know, didn't mean to throw you off or anything, Josh, but did y'all kind of factor into it, if y'all had these family members on other social media and they be posting some of the same stuff, on Snapchat or Facebook on their stories in there or not, or Twitter?
Nah, I went straight.
I try to isolate it.
Oh, okay. So like specifically just for like Instagram, that's what you try to
Yeah.
say. Yeah, that's what I try to do. Like if I was like people that I also follow on other social media that post some of the same stuff, I was like, yeah, I could get that. Or like people that just don't post at all on that social media, I'm just like, yeah, there's no point.
There's actually a lot of people who just don't post at all that I added to this list anyway because I need to fill up space. I got stuck at 35.
Yeah, let's talk about
Once I
that.
hit
Like,
35, I was like, yo, I don't need anybody else. Like, I had to force
Yeah.
myself to find 65 others to put on this list.
Dang. That's
did I make the list?
Yeah, you were.
No.
Let me tell you what number you were. You were madly.
That's just because that's how IG had it, but realistically, I've been like
37. No.
Oh.
So
You had me on the flop?
Cut. You wouldn't even have made the initial cut.
Yo,
oh,
that hurt.
oh man.
You were like number one for me.
Why? I see you. I see you in person, stupid. I need to follow your pictures for. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Something incredible, I guess.
Yeah, nah, y'all two are 1 and 2.
Yeah, same here.
That's
1 and 2.
crazy.
No, I was like, y'all two are like, no, well, I mean, I just literally like went down like my whole list of followers, and at the top
Yeah,
of the
I
list
did
is
it
like
too.
y'all two and Shane, and then just like from there, I just kept scrolling down the list until I got to the very end. So like that's how like the order of my list, like that's kind of where that came from. Yeah.
I feel you. But I went through my whole entire 1,200 followers, and I only got 35 at one.
You got how many followers? Wait, you followed how many?
You got a lot.
I follow 1,200.
Why did you do this? Yo.
Bro, it was stress.
Yo,
I'm good. All I gotta do is pick one out of every 10.
I got like 480, and I was just like,
sitting here scrolling. I'm like, yo, this is a lot more than 10. Like, damn.
Bro, you realize how many people like don't even post nothing or don't even like anything on social media. It's just like
90%.
Bro, it's crazy.
Which is why I only had 35 people that I messed with.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you recognize the people like close to the
cut
top.
though.
Lupe didn't make my cut. he was close.
Oh, you wildin'.
I like his Twitter more than his Instagram, so I'm here for his Twitter.
I can't agree.
Yeah, so like him, like that was one of the people where like I came to like his Twitter. I'm like I'll keep his Twitter and I'll sacrifice the Instagram.
The reason why I like his Instagram though is be mad information.
He does have a lot of information there too. That's why I'm just like, ugh. But he does leave links. Doesn't he leave links sometimes, like in his Twitter to his Instagram? So it's like I don't have to follow him, but like I could just like peek in.
I wouldn't even know. I don't even be on Twitter like that, to be honest.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. But hey.
So, how do you guys?
All right. What's the next?
Damn boy.
My connection going out.
Yeah.
I felt it.
Yeah. So, would you guys say you're surprised by the dynamic, or you would have said beforehand like that's about how it would shape out?
I'm not too surprised about it.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah. And it's just like the way like I ended up having to narrow it down. Like I started at like at first, when I first got the list, I went like 207. So I was like, okay, I gotta cut this thing down somehow. So I was like, all right. I went through like 4 rounds of cuts. It's like tryouts basically. So it's just like I had to like really like determine like criteria. Just like certain people just like, you know, just like whether I really wanted to follow y'all. And some people just like, you know, what I wanted to see. So I'm not too surprised.
I
didn't think I'd get 35 on my first run.
You thought you would get lower?
I thought I'd get a lot higher. I thought I'd be like in the 60s somewhere, at least. I knew I was getting 100, but I was like, yo, I'll probably get like 60. I looked up, it said 35. I said, oh, nah. I got a lot of work to do.
Word. Yeah, I initially was 104, and then just had to cut 4.
That's like cheese.
Yeah, cutting 4 is nothing.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be lower too, to be honest.
Bro, I went from 207 to 159, which is pretty good, then to 136, and then to 120. And then
Dang, you
after that, I
struggled.
got 100. Right, yeah. Getting down to 136, I was like, yo, I don't know. I was like, dang, gotta make some tough choices now. And then at 120, I was like, all right, I could really just cut some people out. I was really keeping some people around just because, like, I knew that I was like, yeah, but I was like, yeah, I could definitely cut y'all off, though, because y'all not funny or nothing.
I think for both of you, like, you both definitely would follow more celebrity pages than I do. I know Jams, I think they're probably, like, the highest percentage, and Zay, they're probably, like, second or third. So
yeah.
why do you guys think that is? Because for me, I feel like following celebrities is pointless. Like, I love The Weeknd, but I wouldn't follow him because he's not really gonna be posting anything like that. I feel like celebrities are just different on the gram. Like, the hell I'm following you for? Your page is already public. I'm not about to follow you.
It depends on what they are, like what they do. Like some provide like different content. Some are like voices that like, you know, like stuff that like they might say that I might not catch, like on something that a show they have or something. So like they'll post clips and stuff, you know, and like I think they're funny. So I like to watch their stuff, or I like what they have to say. Like Shannon Sharp is one of them. Stephen A is one of them. They post stuff.
Oh man,
just from their shows. So I was like, I need to laugh. So I might need to go to them. Some are just like some are women that like I like to see, some eye candy on the TL.
Heard you.
Or some or some of them have content too. So it's just like it depends on what you do. Most of them put out stuff that But
Doja Cat made your top 100?
Absolutely, bro. I don't even follow her. What?
Bro.
She don't make the 480 on my regular followers. Hell no. I got plenty of other people that I would make before that. Nah.
Cat. She gave it just.
What about you, Zay? Did you have some woman on there for some eye candy?
He has a page,
bro.
Probably
Yes,
just for it.
That's like the first thing I did. I got like 6 pages just for it. And I'm not even lying.
Interesting. Interessante.
What was I doing? I was doing something. Hold on.
Yeah. Like
Interessana.
Yeah, going through this thing right now. It's like, outside of like the athletes, most of the people that like I follow, celebrities that I have on here, put out some sort of content. Minus like a couple, or they put out content that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh, when you asked the question, let me answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I follow quote unquote celebrities is because I genuinely like the content they do. So my celebrities isn't like Professor Griff. Like he's a celebrity in a sense, but he's not as popular as like an A-list celebrity. But he's still a celebrity. That like, does he have a? Is he on the House of Walk of Fame? Actually,
I don't think so. But like, he's a celebrity in like his community, though. So I feel like that's like worthy of like like the celebrity status on like the list, probably.
All right, so hold up.
Like I have like some choreographers on the list. They don't have like stars on the Walk of Fame, but like they're known like in like
exactly.
In the dance world, they're known by those people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, they're like well known and well respected within their like communities. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some race car drivers on there. You dig, dog, diggity.
Yeah, got some comedians, or actually no, one. You know, I got a couple.
Do you feel following these celebrities affect what you want to do in your life, or like maybe even like what you're doing on that day? Like an example.
To a degree, yes.
Yeah,
But I think it's just something that I genuinely like. So, for instance, I like race cars. So I'm gonna follow somebody who is a professional driver, so I get to see a glimpse into their life, a day in their life. Like sometimes they don't always race the same, class. So they might step down a few classes and show you, what's the difference between the top tier classes versus the bottom class that they be racing in today. Like, just gives you a different perspective into their life, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like choreographers. I follow like a bunch of like people from different podcasts. It's like people that that I listen to. You know, because I like listen to the podcasts. Like I follow choreographers because I like dancers. You forgot some people did. Yep, you forgot some. Who'd you? Oh man, he's scratching his head.
I kind of want to follow David Banner.
Ooh, that's a good one. That would be a good one. I feel like
David Banner.
What's his IG like? Because I've never seen his. I don't think I've seen his before.
Conscious.
I don't know.
Be posting conscious material.
I like it.
All right, so I wanted to connect that to, especially since you guys have like the whole celebrity thing, and I had none. Does this really connect? I mean, it kind of does, but obviously we know women who see, or even guys too, who see. Let me get my shoulders ready to make the stretch. So women and guys who see like IG models and like people of that nature, and who like follow them and see their perfect looking lives and their perfect looking bodies. And I wanted to connect that to, which is something I wasn't even privy to, but like obviously implants, like breast implants, ass implants. But what I didn't know about was like they had pec implants and like ab implants. So it's like very interesting. I feel like this wasn't something.
I just saw this before. I said I just saw this before we came on here.
Oh, that's crazy.
With the ab implants and the peg implants.
So how do you guys feel about the altering of the human body in that way?
You lie! That's how
especially in regards to, well, we'll relate to that later, but we'll start with that general question.
See, like the thing about like the pec implants is like you don't really hear about like or ab implants. You don't hear about it as much. So like people might not know that it happens, but like I remember like hearing it in like a bar some years back, a couple years back, that somebody else supposedly got some some work done on the abs. So I think it's just like crazy to have it done. Like when people have it done, it's just like I was just like, hey, they each is it was an athlete with it.
A boxer, bro, had pec implants. I was like, what do you need pecs for when you're boxing?
So he don't get the air taken out of his lungs when he gets pushed in his chest. That's how.
Yeah, Tommy Morrison.
Yo, that's not cheating.
Yo, exactly. Yeah, like come on now.
Word, that's a good point. Like if you get punched there, you probably wouldn't feel it as much, I guess.
Or it could like hurt you more because like you might get killed or something like that.
Yeah, they might hit you so hard that
it pop and mess you up.
Nah.
Yo. Yeah, Adam's onto something I recently learned about.
How I feel about it, I feel like you should just work for your ish, cuz. If you're not meant to have the perfect sculpted body, you're not meant for it. It's that
exactly.
simple. Just work for
Sometimes it's
your
genetics,
ish,
bro.
cuz. Embrace your
Genetics
vibe.
play a big role,
Why you
yo.
so mad at yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, but your
Sometimes
genetics
it's
is
just
affected by your environment as well.
Right.
Your food intake. Your immediate environment is
your
more important than your genetics
stuff.
because it
Basically,
has a greater effect on your DNA.
so basically, like things you can have on, like some things that are in your control, really more so.
So it doesn't matter what race you're born to. If you're working on a farm, you're naturally gonna be bigger than people who don't work on a farm.
Yeah. I actually had some science I learned about that where it's just due to like all the carrying and like the heavy load makes somebody wider. And they were saying that a lot of, especially like the modern like man is like skinny waist and like the V taper. But they were saying like functionally that's not really functionally that's not how it's supposed to be. The man is supposed to be a little wider or not like have a skinny waist and then like the V taper is supposed to be like almost like a little bit like a box, like not completely, but definitely shouldn't be like a skinny
A
waist
box.
situation. It's just interesting, which makes sense. Like, you know, people target that they want to, you know, have the skinny waist and then wide back, and that's been like the fantasy, but functionality wise, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Ya tu chabe.
Interesting.
That's
So
interesting.
do you guys feel or maybe do you think it's something that has become more prominent due to social media? People wanting implants. 'Cause I know like breast and butt implants were like
Absolutely.
way more common back then as well. But I feel like this new like tech implants, like that's
I
different.
think things become more common because like people. I feel like to a certain extent, like people like you see more people accept it. So like I think that's like one factor. That's why you probably might see it more. But also like there's always going to be like the people that don't feel good about themselves. So, like that's always going to be something so they get the work done. But like so you also and then you also have like the people that accept it. So like that was like a couple factors that lead into it. But yeah, I definitely think you see it more. And one thing that I need to just say right now, all these girls that y'all be seeing, just keep in mind how many of them, when they be getting this work done, how many of them all be going after or be having the same shape afterwards they get this shit done. I just want y'all to keep track of that and keep note of that. That's it. That's all. I'm done.
Maybe looking like assembly line Barbie dolls, all cut from the same manufacturer.
Cloth.
Yeah,
I think it's more prevalent. I just think it's not smart, but I feel like humans always be trying to alter ish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people just goes back to people just don't want to put that work in, so they rather just buy it.
Trying to chase it.
You're not really gonna appreciate it, one, and then two, you're putting yourself automatically like off rip in a certain category. Like the chances of somebody taking you serious when you got butt implants and boob implants is slim.
But at the same time, a lot of people just don't even care.
Exactly, yeah. I care because I want to know what my kid's gonna look like. Like, what? I want to know what you really look
like. That's interesting.
Like,
I wonder how that affects that.
If we gonna keep it a buck, I care. Like, I need to know like what you really look like. Like some of your high school pictures before you got this work.
You say your high school pictures.
I need to see.
You gotta think too. Like it holds health risks too.
So many. Like how many? I wish we had the numbers in front of us. Like how many deaths like occur from like these like kind of related like surgeries or like procedures.
I hear a lot, honestly.
I've heard a lot too, but I Like I don't.
But
know
you know,
this-
that's media. You know, media be overhyping ish.
Yeah.
So it's just like you
And
never
where
really know.
And where you gonna
A
get
lot
reliable
of them
from?
don't even exactly. A lot of them don't even report it. Like I'm gonna come up with a question. Give me a moment.
Go ahead now. Go ahead. You got it. Oh man, yeah. I'm trying to look this up.
I've been quiet a couple episodes.
I feel like it's really been a problem. I feel like it's really been like a problem.
Yo, I saw it was on Twitter. So this guy was taking, not guy, but this girl, well, her boyfriend was taking her to like somewhere special or something like that. And I was like, oh, where? She's cute. And then the camera like panned to her walking, and she had a butt implant. And I was like what? Like you
was
don't.
like,
I was tight because it's like, I don't know. I feel like why do dudes even care about that? It's not real. It don't feel the same. And like
I wouldn't
that's
know.
something you're gonna
wouldn't
have.
know.
Well, a lot of people say that, like celebrities in their songs and just on their like social media say that it's not the same. I just don't like. What's the point? It's such a short-term thing, and then just put yourself in a box, yo.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not something you could just plug in and plug out. Like I don't know what the process is to remove it, but I bet it ain't simple.
You said plug in and plug in. Yo, imagine inflatable, yo. In the morning, you wake up, you plug it.
It's not like no bike tire. Like you just put air in it, take some air out.
Plug in the car.
Yo, bro.
Yo, did you bring the pump? You got a pump on you?
Oh, yo.
Alright, let's go to the bathroom.
Girl, I left my pump at home. You got yours.
Yo.
Wait, did you bring the titty adapter?
Oh, I'm done.
The adapter.
Oh.
What's
Right.
the
Zay, what you got? Zay, what you got, bro?
I don't have nothing. Y'all throwing me off, bro.
Oh man. What we got next? But like for real, like y'all don't be feeling like that. Like y'all don't. You want to know like what people going?
Oh,
people,
you ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Got some, boy.
Okay.
What is the role of a man in a relationship?
Okay.
question?
Holla at your guala. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. The role of, you said in a relationship, right?
Facts.
See.
Okay. My perception is the role of a man in a relationship would be he is a protector, he provides, and respects his woman. So he's protector in the sense of like physical, right? I think in most cases the man physically can achieve that, not in all. Provide in the sense of like whatever she needs, not necessarily what she wants, but like what she needs, he can provide. And for women, if that's going to vary per woman. And then I said provide, protect, and then respect. I think ultimately women just want to feel that who they're with is respects them as an individual, and that means like being honest about things and the way you feel, like not stepping out on them and not doing things to put them in like where they look like a clown. Like, you know, situations where their girlfriends are gonna be like, wow, like he did that to you, like he got you looking stupid. Like you should respect her enough to never put her in that position. Those are three very general things, but I'm gonna just go with that.
Heard the God.
Okay. I mean, some things are just So I would say one thing that I definitely say to start off on something that you didn't really say or that like I didn't really get from it. Actually no, that you kind of touched on, but to be a good partner to whoever he's with. Where that includes like being faithful, you know, that includes being respectful, not only to her but also like to her friends and her family, all those type of things to be able to provide for her, for her needs and her wants. I'm including her wants because like if you're going to be in a relationship, you should want to be, she should want to provide for that person, with obviously like within most times within reason. Most times, yeah. There are times where you can provide those unreasonable things, but those are like outliers of what you would normally think about. That be able to provide. Because being a good partner is pretty broad. Be able to protect, be able to provide. Actually, no, not protect, but provide security. So make sure like she's secure and whatever in her environments. There could be like whether it's home, work, whether y'all out in public, wherever y'all going, be able to provide that security, or not only like physical but also if in case financial security as well. That kind of goes into being able to provide, but it's also separate because you can be providing, but if things go south real quick, what? Hey, look, what's our plan now? You gotta be able to.
So what's the role of the female?
So
what's the role of the female?
Role of the female. She gotta she gotta bring security. She also has to provide security as well. She has to be a good partner. Also, she still has her response.
Let's not say good partner. Let's try to use things to describe a good partner.
Okay, got you. Yeah, that's real general. My bad. Honestly, so instead of good partner, be able to satisfy your partner's needs.
Hey, let me stop.
Partner's needs. Partner's needs can be general, can be whatever, can be emotional, physical. Yeah, exactly. Both partners. Also, both partners need to be supportive of each other. With whatever endeavors are going on too. So that's sort of really
yeah. So I would say
you try to get me too. Nah, don't try. You try to get me too. I thought about it myself. I was like, nah, they're gonna try this.
The woman. Well, I just want to say one thing. Big thing for the male side is definitely has to make the woman feel secure. Feel security is like the biggest thing for women. Now, flipping it, what makes a good woman in a relationship or partner, or whatever, I feel that they need to be supportive. Like, I feel a man can do, or even just a human being, but I'm gonna just use a man, like, can do really well and go really far if he has the support of his woman. I think that's like the biggest thing for women, just to be supportive of what he's doing or what he wants to do or like whatever his goals and ambitions are. And that would also just fall, or what would fall under that is like being there for him. To be honest, I feel like that's really it. Like, I feel like you just need somebody who's gonna support you, and like not on some like blind faith, like whatever you say, she's just gonna be like, okay, like let's do it. You want to jump off the cliff? I support you. Like, let's hold hands and do it. Like, no, but he should feel that he can say something and it's not just gonna automatically get shot down with like no like evidence, no
remorse.
Like, yeah, like you should say like, okay, this is something he says and you don't agree with. Like, look, I support you in that. However, I feel you should go about it this way, blah blah blah. Or I feel like that's not something you're really into.
So like to actually like discuss it, sort of, you mean?
Yeah. So like support I feel like that's all I'm gonna say about that. Just being supportive, and I feel like everything else will just come naturally.
If it's that right person, yes.
Sorry, that was kind of a bad description, but that's all I can think of. The support. I just want to be supported.
Oh my gosh.
So what about you, Zay? What do you want from a woman?
No, he asked what the role of a man was.
I don't even know. That's what I'm asking. It's been so confusing these days. Everybody wants something different.
I mean,
I feel like I'm not in the position right now to even say like, yo, this is what I should be on. This is what you should be on. Let's hit it. I feel like I don't know. I feel like people have different strengths, and we just got to use our strengths to our best ability, whatever that may be. So, for instance, it may be weird, but like I feel like a woman could bring security to the entire family. It's not even all right. Let me reverse. Let me go back.
you right.
It's everybody can do something. Everybody can bring something to the table. It's just like, bro, I don't even know, cause like again, everything goes back to society.
I think people. I think we get too caught up. Yeah.
I think a man. Okay, I think a man should be security, right? Like you were saying, right? He should also be able to bring peace. He should be a decision maker. Like, as much as everybody having the man in charge, bro, there's only one driver in a car, bro. There's only one driver in a car.
And you feel that has to be the man?
It's to drive the boat.
Let me drive the boat.
I definitely
agree with that.
No, I definitely agree with what you say, because the part that I didn't say was that peace part.
Ain't no two-seaters
that's
out
a big
driving.
Yeah, that peace part is a real big part though.
That's a fact. But at the same time, the women's gotta bring peace to the situation too. We can't just be wilding out here.
Yeah, it's like everyone has a role, you know. It's like everyone's got a role, and sometimes the roles overlap.
Yeah, I think
and sometimes
9 out of 10 of them is gonna overlap.
I think almost it's like most of them overlap or they're shared roles, you know. It's like you need everybody to do their part. That's the part about being a team. Like you can't just have one person that scores all the time. You can't just have one person that does everything. Like like you need different people to be able to do different roles at different times because circumstances change. At least that's how I feel. Like you, like you want to be well-rounded yourself, but you also kind of want a well-rounded partner. Or that's how I feel, at least.
So, going off of the whole partner thing, do you guys feel like genetics and the way somebody looks and their family history should play a role, or should it just be more like you mesh well with this person? So, regardless of who their family is, or regardless of what their genetics or allergies or shortcomings might be, if you guys meshed well together, like that should be it.
Nah.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Bro, you gotta. Hold on, I'm getting distracted heavy.
All right, yeah, I got you. I got you. I mean.
Good.
All right, so I've definitely looked at it a lot more now as like something that can, that's something that I pay attention to more. Like I pay attention to like how often, like how healthy that person is, what their family's health history is, what they look like, what their family looks like. I definitely pay a lot more attention to that now than I did before, and it definitely plays a factor, for sure. So like it's just like something that like sometimes like I think it's one of those things that like until you notice it or think about it, and think about like how it could play a role like down the line, that's when you really start to like think. That's when you really like start to let it impact like your decision making about like who you see as like attractive or like, you know, or someone you would want to be with in the future. Like for me,
I'm gonna let Zay go, and then I'm gonna go.
Like I haven't met somebody really yet. Like I'm sure there's somebody probably out there for everybody that could probably defy.
Oh, you one of those?
Where there may be someone out there that might defy that for you. I'm just saying, it just depends on if you meet that person or not. You know, and is that stronger than, you know, whatever other, you know, person that you might be considering? That's all.
This man taking us to space.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna give it a second, bro. It's funny because while I was walking, I was like, I know my connection's gonna mess up, and they gonna say something stupid. Anyways, genetics plays a huge part. But before we even get to genetics, I'm gonna talk about culture. It's serious. And my culture have to vibrate. Like I gotta be able to If I cannot be inside your culture at all, there's no point. That's like a fundamental. Like that's basics. If we can't mend well to each other's culture, there's no point. I feel like we're just gonna clash all the time. Like first, just something simple that people overthink. Shoes in the household. If you will be walking around in your house with shoes, yo,
that's a big one.
It's that simple. But you see how that'll be overlooked?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that simple. Like that's a big no-no.
Yo,
Nah,
it's how you're
not doing
raised.
that.
That's such a good point.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So like we gonna continue. We gonna say your genetics. Yes, your genetics play a part. Like I said before, I'm trying to make strong children based off our simplistic nature, bro. We make the strongest to create strong offspring. You see that every animal. Just because I'm human don't mean I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm looking for an old girl that's gonna give me the strongest babies. And don't take strong just as physical. Like I'm thinking, I'm trying to have a smart baby who gonna succeed in the world. So I know his or her mom gotta be smart too. When I'm lacking, she gotta take over. When she lacking, I gotta take over. It's that simple.
So, being that you are vegan, do you feel your partner has to be vegan?
Well, I'm plant-based. Yes, yes. I'm gonna just say yes because with as much information as I got now, bro, says cheese does to your body on a daily basis. Yes, but it also depends on who you're mating with because I feel like not everybody. Some people, it's in their genetics to be able to eat those types of food more easily than others.
We're talking about.
But I know the type. I'm talking about mazungas. But the people I'm going after ain't mazungas, so.
Bro, I ain't heard that term in a minute. I'm done with you.
I'm lost right now.
That's the point.
Yeah, I wanted to take it there because it's definitely something I feel the more revolutions around the sun I am on this plane, the more I'm like, so what if I'm like physically attracted to you? Like, it
No,
matters
there's so much more. Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to get out of that phase of like, yo, she has to be physically attractive. It's more like, yo,
Yeah, bro. It's become those other things are becoming way more
I
important.
just
than,
gotta
like, the
vibe
physical.
with you. Way more important, bro.
There's some
I can wake up on
baddies,
Instagram
but
and see somebody. That's not hard.
yeah,
What? My heart, it be creaking in the morning.
that's why I don't even follow none, bro.
I'm like,
It's stressful,
oh, I gotta do it. I have to.
bro.
You know, you ever watch the flies go into the light, bro? You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta do it. No matter what happens, do it.
Nah, that used to mess up my entire day, bro. So I just had to not cut cold turkey.
Bro, you know how many times I wanted to send you some fire, like
I'm glad
your
you
weakness.
didn't.
I was
Don't
like,
talk
wow.
about it every week.
Oh, I'm detoxing 2020.
Detox. Yeah, okay.
Bro, I'm not seeing them
that
even in
baby.
person, bro. I'll be getting tight.
Bro,
Yeah,
I don't even want to talk about it in person.
older I get, the more I'm thinking about it in that light, which is interesting because I never thought I would. But I'm going to segue this into Black people and white people mating and building families together. And I'm going to go with those two because I don't know about any other two cultures that well. Like, I know, like, other cultures, you know, mix, but at least personally, I'm going to go with what I know. Okay. So I mentioned that to say before, it was definitely like, I actually had a talk with, I don't want to say white. What's another word? Caucasian?
Caucasoid.
You know what? She was Italian, so let's say that. I had a conversation with an Italian woman, and because I was really trying to, like, just understand myself. And I was, like, realizing that when it came to, like, Caucasian women, it was, the chances of me being attracted to one physically was higher than the chances of me being physically attracted to a Black woman. So I was like, yo, why is it like that?
African woman.
And then, yo, we not, you know what? So I thought about it, and I realized, like, if that's the case, because I have more of a fetish when it comes to Caucasian women than Black women. Like, a Caucasian woman, I'll mess with, whatever. But, like, my standards are higher for a Black woman compared to a white woman. So that's when I realized, like, damn, like, this is why, like, I've acted like this. And it was the same thing for her. Like, she said her standards are lower. Well, she didn't say that, but she said she's more attracted to Black guys than white guys. And, like, a white guy has to be more well put together for her to like him, whereas a Black guy doesn't have to, like, have that much. She just has to be, like, generally attracted to him. So it was interesting. It was a good self-discovery. And it's something that, like, I'm slowly moving away from as I am starting to want to have something more serious. So it's just going to be, like, harder for me because what I'm mostly going to see is that higher range of white women that I'm going to be attracted to. But I think the only thing that's going to really make me, like, actually want to settle down is going to be, like, a Black woman where I have that high standard for her.
It's the first step is realizing it, bro. It's right. The first step. If you can admit it, it's like, okay, where can I work from here? Me, 100%, I'm not messing with anything besides a melanated woman. That's just how I feel.
Just because that's the word I needed to use. Damn.
Culturally, we similar. Like, there's gonna be no clicks. Like, but when we get into a relationship, it's like, dang, we already know what it is. Like,
yo, you know what's you saying that just reminded me. I used to hear people say that, and I'm like, nah. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if y'all mess with each other, if y'all cool with each other, like, it's gonna work. And I've just watched like plenty of shows. I've watched plenty of movies with like interracial couples, and like when it's the white girl and the black dude, like the white girl's family, they don't care. Like
They don't click. If I gotta force it with your family, and
it's just so different. Like the dynamic is so different, and it gets me kind of tight. But you know, it's the reality. But the dynamic is just so different. Like I was watching this show. The white woman was with the black guy, and they weren't talking for like 10 days. She was by her mom, who was like some famous actor, and then she met up with the dude after the 10 days, and they were like talking in the car. Boom, got into a car accident, right? So he was fine. She had to go get surgery, and then they were like, all right, well, you know, only immediate family can stay, and the mom and dad worked together to like get him out of the floor where she was at, so he'd have to stay in the waiting room. And then she was like, yeah, like you're not family, this and that. It was just like, yo, this is crazy. And then once the woman like came to after the surgery, she's like, oh, like where's Sam? She's like, oh, he went home. And it was just like, no, he didn't. Like you didn't allow him to be up there to like woke up. And it's just like that's the reality. Like they don't see us as equal. It's either they don't see us as equal, or they like fetishize us, or like
they try too hard.
Fantasize. Is it fetishize? Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about.
They do try too hard.
Bro, no, I think it's either I think it's like 30 things. Either they don't see us that way, fetishize us, or they be trying too hard to relate. It's like if your family's trying too hard to relate, like if it's not like a natural thing, like if it's not who they are, like it ain't gonna work. And that for me,
we just not on the same dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. We just not exactly. We're just not there.
So
like,
much.
Just not,
it's that simple.
Yeah,
you don't have
exactly.
to try to identify what exactly isn't right. It's just we not right.
Exactly. And honestly, like the culture thing, like
I'm not gonna sit here.
Yeah, exactly. Like the culture thing could go like with like black, white. It could go with like two people of the same race. You could have two people of the same race, but culturally,
African and Caribbean,
they might not align. You know.
Yeah. So that's like, a fact.
If me and you feel like if when I go to hang out with you, me and you could be cool, but like if you like but if I hang out with your family and like we don't really like align like that, like like my family hang out with your family, like we got to be able to all come together and be on one thing. If we can't all be like aligned somehow, then like I don't know if it's gonna work.
If you funny. You fit in with my whole family. You fit in with my family, my family's friends, and my friends. That's it.
Oh, you funny. You like jokes. Oh, yeah.
More. All you gotta do is be funny.
Exactly.
You witty with your jokes. You won. You got it. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Exactly.
But if you shy in the corner, you gonna have a long day.
Exactly.
You have a long day.
It's like you shy in the corner. You stay in that corner.
Bro, Josh, I'm lying.
Nah, not at all. They got a family where you definitely got to be involved.
Oh, how?
I need to come up. I need to come up to one of these functions. I need to.
You got it.
Oh, you need to, bro. It's true,
bro.
It's 100% jokes. It's always a good time, and the party don't end till 3 a.m.
It's like you gotta fire back too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What? You don't got a choice.
Yes.
If you don't fire
back. Like the way this is for me is like as long as everybody can take a joke. Look, as long as everybody know we joking and take some jokes. Look, we gonna fire it back. We gonna go back and forth.
Hell yeah, they know.
As long as
they know.
Yeah,
they're gonna test the water to see how far they can get with you first.
But that's how I be feeling about like everyone else. Like if I can't joke with you, like if you don't get my jokes or like you're not trying to joke back. Like, come on, like, you got to shoot back sometime. Like, come on, like, let's go. Like, we got to go back and forth with this shit. Return fire. Return fire.
You know what it is, too? Like, a lot of people date certain people just to get their parents right.
Yeah. I don't understand. Honestly, like, people that do that, like, I don't understand.
I wouldn't know. I date within my race. I wouldn't know.
But yeah, like I wouldn't do that. That's crazy to me.
Man.
What was I gonna say?
But yeah,
There's something else I had to say.
yeah, no. So like, yeah, like even like Josh, like I get what you were saying too, though. I definitely get what you were saying because like that's not that it's happened, but like as I've thought about it, I was like the more you were talking about it, like in like your standard, and I was like, okay, I can see how that could.
Because I used to be fiending, and I'm like, yo, why am I fiending? Like,
yeah, but then there's
there's
sometimes
regular.
Yeah, I'll be asking the same questions.
There's sometimes like you find someone attractive one day, and then a couple days later you see him again, and you be like, yo, what was I talking about, yo? Like, yo, I was wilding.
Bro, I realized that before I even thought.
I've done that like so many times, and like that's why like I don't like a lot of people like they be like see someone attractive and talk to people. Not me. Like I'll be chilling, you know. So it's just like
Yeah, I'll be in the cut observing.
Like a lot of times I don't even get to that point to me.
I'll be saying, yo, she's pretty for like the next 2 weeks. After that, I'm gonna get tired of her.
And I feel like I've heard you say that. I feel like I've definitely heard you say that.
Oh yeah, he definitely be doing that.
I'll be like, yo, here we go.
Exactly. Like for sure. Like I definitely feel like that's happened before.
100%.
Just like,
I'm not saying no names.
It's like, yo, like some people are just that attractive for the moment. Outside of that,
Yo, you know another thing is too.
It's because you be stuck in an environment.
For a certain amount of time, you start getting.
If you could be friends.
Certain types of goggles.
Certain types of goggles.
I ain't gonna specify which types.
Yes.
If you know, you know.
If you know. Yeah, you go somewhere, your hometown, but you go back to where you was at, you put on those goggles and people look better than they really do. Just because that's your environment.
What was the indicator, bro? You started a point and never finished.
Oh, yeah. So, what's a good indicator, I feel? Like, okay, let's say a black girl and a white girl are together or whatever. Or mixed. Whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If the person's... No. If a black guy is with a white girl, right? And let's say they break up or they part. I think if you look at who their previous partners were and like their next one. So like let's say with the black guy, if his next partner is a black girl or like his past partners were black girls, I think that's more of an indication of like being a fetish. Because if his next partners are like still white girls, then I think that would be his thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying.
I'm gonna just say it's possible, but it's not a.
You also got to see who that person. It's also a better indicator to see who that person really finds attractive, and their reactions to like when you point out someone attractive to that person.
Right.
That's like because people have different reactions.
Oh yeah, 100% on that.
You look at that reaction. That reaction, they have a reaction some way on someone you find attractive, and then you point someone that to you is nowhere near as attractive as the last person you pointed out, and they react way crazy. Yeah. You be like, oh, okay. Oh. Yeah. So that's what we talking about. Okay, that's what you like. Right. Okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's a big
I know somebody like that. Yeah. I know somebody.
I think we all know somebody like that.
The woman Zay finds attractive compared to me is like night and day, yo.
Bro.
We never agree.
Bro, I cannot show him nobody.
Bro, you be getting me tired, bro. I'll be like, what?
For him, it's been years. It's been years of this where we do not agree on not one person.
Yo, wait, not one?
That's the one thing, though. I'll never have to worry about him messing around. I'll tell you that. We don't see eye to eye there.
Oh.
Never have to worry about that.
We off the
Wait, hold on. Wait, what you trying to say? Hold on.
This is how the conversation goes. I'm going to show you. This is how our conversation goes, bro. You can swap either one of us in this business. Ready? Here we go. It'll be like this.
Yep.
Yo, she bad. What?
Yo,
one day it'll be Josh saying she's bad.
I've heard this
me saying she's bad. And the next line is always, what?
Oh my god. Yo, I remember these conversations. I miss these conversations.
Bro, I stopped sending him, bro, because it was just like, what's
yo, that's why you send them to me now?
Yeah.
You don't even send them to me.
Yo, it'll be like this, bro. It'll be like this, bro. It'll be two women in one photo.
Yeah.
You don't have to say nothing.
Oh, but y'all know y'all picking different ones?
We say left and right. Oh, we always switch. Some days I be trying to get him and go with the opposite.
That's why.
Nah.
But that's why it works, though. That's why it works. That's why it works, because you got him to go for one, and that way you know the other one. That's all you. That's why it works.
That's a fact. That's why I said I'll never have to worry about him messing around with somebody I like. Because I know he generally don't find her attractive.
Yeah, you know he's more of a. Wait, hold on. So wait. So if you said if you got to choose between taking me or taking Josh, you gonna take Josh because you know he's a sure bet to not mess with the one you like.
Honestly, I'm gonna take you because Josh not gonna like both of them.
Oh, he gonna mess up the flow. At least I'll take one for the team.
Like, bro, you brought me out here for this. I'm like, oh,
yo, Josh will be there for 5 minutes to get tight.
Would love to take one for the team. The way everybody thinks is like, nah, we're not rolling with Josh. Like, oh, you see that one?
Oh, what? Oh my god.
It's good though. I mean,
it is. It's good.
All right. What's your thoughts on polygamy? Polygamy. One of those words. Poly.
Hey, you can do it if you got the money. I believe.
What if you don't?
A lot of. If you don't got money, it's slow. Like, what do you really have to offer? At the end of the day, women need to be. Women want to be provided for.
That's what you think.
If you get to polygamy, they provide for each other.
Exactly.
Oh, I forgot to go that way too.
Bro, that's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of different ebbs and flows that gotta connect to work.
Bro, yeah, exactly. Like they gotta that means everybody gotta be on the same page.
Bro, I mean, mathematically speaking, that's the way to economics, bro. You could live a real good life, even if it's just 3 people. Economically speaking, you are set.
Hey, the kids got play dates.
Think about it. If you all make 50K, bro, y'all living good.
Oh yeah.
Play dates, you don't have to worry about no babysitter, because you got like 4 grandmas. Like, bro, you good, bro.
I mean, I've thought about it, but in the sense of like 1 black woman and 1 white woman, so I could, check both those boxes.
Oh, nah.
But economically, it would definitely function better.
Okay, so yeah.
I think that's a big economic move.
Oh, nah. Bro, you gonna bring 2 opposites under the same household? You're cugging.
Oh wait, you talking about how?
That's impossible.
Wait, so we talking about having everyone under the same household? Oh goodness.
Hell yeah.
I think essentially, yeah, you'd have. Damn, that's gonna be.
It's not gonna work.
I mean, that would be the best way to do it, honestly. So yeah,
people would have to be. The woman would have to feel so secure, like.
And that man would have to be very secure as well. Like you could you can even reverse wolf this.
That man gotta be powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah, they gotta respect his gangster for real.
Or they just.
What I mean by that is like they just have to have enough respect for him as a man. Of like they know if he says he's gonna do something, he's gonna do it. They know if they need him, he's there. Like that's if they have to question that, it's slow.
It ain't gonna work. Yeah.
The moment they question that, It's a wrap. Normally, you just gotta deal with that one person. Now you gotta do that with two. I don't know, bro. I just feel you need a lot of funds
Yeah.
to pull that off.
Yeah, to those that can do it, more power to you. Because
Facts.
I don't know.
Honestly, I think it's something I would be open to. But I just feel like it's hard enough to just find even like one. You have to try and find two, and then one that's okay with that.
Yeah, it's like, how does this like come about?
You're
The
not
universe
lying.
has got to be conspiring for you. Like,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
like,
way.
and then
The woman speaks picks the next wife.
exactly. Like that's like, and then like how you
What if
feel
she choose
about that?
somebody
Like
that I'm
that.
not even attracted to like that? Like, I'm gonna be tight. Actually, no, I wouldn't. That would actually work.
It's greater than attraction.
That would actually work. I can't be highly attracted to both of them, just one, and the other one could be whatever, and then that would probably work.
Oh, and then she's attracted to the other
No,
one
then
as
you're
well.
gonna try and treat them completely different on different
Yeah,
levels.
exactly.
Like,
And then one's gonna be feeling the type of
it's
way.
a crazy dynamic. It's a balancing act, bro.
It is. It's a balancing act for sure. That's tough.
Yeah.
I've thought about it though. Like,
It's just a thought. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
But that's
I
the
feel,
thing. Like I don't think you can introduce it. I think it has to be the woman who has to introduce it, because if you try to introduce it, it'll come off as a sexual fetish.
Depends on the
yeah,
woman,
but
honestly.
what are the
It does
chances,
depend on the
bro?
woman.
Some
Like,
women,
what are the chances she's gonna say, "Hey, let's go marry her, join her into
What
our
a
family"?
wonderful time to play. It's zero. Like I said, it ain't gonna happen.
Gotta have money. Woman will. This is gonna sound very sexist and messed up, but
Yeah, I didn't want to listen to it. I don't want to listen to
I'm about to let you dig this
I'm
one.
gonna say that woman.
What you say? You gotta have money. Women? I said,
Yeah, I was like,
women tend to, deal with more things and behave with somebody who got money. Because they know they're gonna be provided for. They know they're secure. So it's like they'll let that type of man get away with some things. I think essentially,
that's the word.
I think essentially, it's just gonna go to a point of you need to be 100% honest with her, and then you do that, you got the money, you get away with that. You could be like, yo, I love you more than I do her. It's just her. She brings this to the table. Blah blah blah. You say that, and then she'll probably be like, you know what?
Nah, you can't even be.
Yeah, you can't do that because she might get.
Nah,
but see,
I don't think
then she has to be secure, like secure enough to not try and go back to the other girl. Like, he said he loves me more than you. Like, that's mad petty. That's high school.
Nah, bro, I wouldn't even introduce the idea.
Honestly, I wouldn't even bring that up.
I think there's just some things that are just unsaid.
Thoughts just expressed have been
Thank you.
One Joshua Pierre.
Huh?
And not the thoughts of us as a collective here at the SOLtalk Sunday.
Bro, I'm lying though. James, tell me not. You don't think women will deal with all that if a man got money?
I don't know. That's how I feel. If a man,
what about more times than
not? 90% of this world is filled with hoes, and I'm talking about men and women, which means they'll do anything for bread.
Yo, that's a fact.
Yeah, more than likely, regardless whether it would be a man that's got
people will throw out their morals for some bread.
She got bread. I feel like it'll be the same thing. There will be. That's a fact, and that's real life. And think about in elementary school, bro. You go make out with so and so for $20. Yo, I'll do it.
Yo, y'all had $20 in elementary school? Hold up.
When it comes to bread, people, bro, I'm just trying to keep it simple,
my bad.
bro. And I'm trying to keep it PG.
Go ahead. My bad.
Yo, what was really said at them elementary school tables is not meant to be.
We're going to talk about this for you one day. Go ahead, keep going.
No, we're not.
G in elementary.
Yo, y'all was lit. What?
Not y'all.
was
Zay
fire.
was a G in elementary.
Yeah, him.
I peaked in middle school, bro. That was my peak.
You're not lying.
After that, it was this plateau.
But wait, so
What
you
was I
saying?
saying? I don't know, man. Anybody will do anything for bread. Anybody will do anything for bread.
Yeah. Wait, so Josh,
That's,
you were saying like
that's the
if the
definition
man,
of quote unquote selling your soul.
So Josh, you were saying like if the man has money, like the woman like might be like a little bit more catty. That's what you were saying, really.
Let me be less catty if he has.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're saying like the man needs to like have like
yeah, his fun's gotta be.
It depends on what they in it for, though. If they in it for, you know, if there's like an emotional support that those three people have as a collective, then money plays a lesser role. So in some of the cases, yes, money's always gonna have an impact because you got to be able to.
I feel it's gonna be the
run by it
most impactful, regardless.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is,
how you gonna support?
We're gonna figure it out then. Try it out. When do y'all try it out? We'll see what happens.
I'm good.
Bro, I don't even want that stress.
Nah, Josh, you should try it.
I was about to say I don't want the stress. That's why I'm not trying it.
Nah,
you might mess up a beautiful thing trying to wild out.
You got it, bro. Right. Nah, you got it.
It sound good.
It sound good.
Like I've thought about that so much, but it's just like it sounds good, but
it really does sound good.
Doing
but
it
it's
is
like, yo,
another thing, bro.
That's a whole fact.
Because then you got two families,
and then one of them want to bring another man. Yeah, then one of them wants to bring another man in.
Yeah, like
what you gonna
somebody
do with that?
tried that. Celebrity tried that. He was hurting, boy.
Which one? Which one?
He was hurting. I think his name starts with J. Speaking about it, he was hurt.
All right. So, yo, you got anything else over there?
No, I'm good on that.
I'm gonna come with one more. What time is it? How long has it been?
Probably like a little under an hour, maybe an hour.
I think it's been over an hour.
Yeah, it's probably over an hour. I feel like we started like a little bit before.
We started close to on time.
You just don't matter. All right. Let's see. I don't know. I think we got hit with a curveball today, so we wasn't as prepared. Pero yeah, I don't know. I think we're pretty good today.
Okay.
There's some off-air stuff I want to talk to you guys about.
Okay. So let's go ahead and end it.
Yeah, we can end it.
All right. Recap. Love yourself.
I'm Josh.
You don't need to get implants to love yourself. You getting implants, it's not gonna make you feel better about yourself. And then, as far as I know, that's something you gotta deal with.
I thought we wasn't doing recaps.
Yo,
I'm gonna do a recap. So,
do it. Yeah.
You know, long term, that's something you're gonna have to deal with. Like, that's the thing about people. Like, they are this generation, Gen Z, millennials, and maybe even the generation before that, which is why, like, people either are like afraid or like just don't want to put
this
that.
Generation.
Yo, man.
No, go ahead.
So, just gotta put the work in. People say they want that body. Oh, I want a slim waist and a fat butt, but you're not willing to eat the way you need to do to get it. You're not willing to go to the gym 5-6 times a week to get it. So just chill. Like, be honest with yourself. You're not willing to put in that work. You just learn to love yourself with what you got. You'll go a lot farther than the alternative. Then we talked about IG and who we would follow. I'd suggest whoever watches this, like, really sit there and go through your followers, and maybe it doesn't have. I'd say it has to be 100 because everybody's gonna want to do something smaller because it'll be easier. But really sit there and think about who you would follow and like why you're even following the people you follow in the first place. Because going through that list, I'm like, yo, these are people I connected with in like high school or at W&E, but like realistically, the hell am I following them for? Like, I don't care what's going on in their life. Like, it is what it is. I feel like, we just follow these people just cause, and it's just like not necessary. And people will take it personal if you want to follow them. And I feel like that's probably why we even follow so much people that we do now. It's kind of like taking personal, like, oh, you don't want to follow me? Oh, you don't want to see my page? Like, just because you follow me don't mean I have to follow you back. But, and then we spoke about relationships or interracial relationships. That's just a very, very difficult thing to maneuver. They made a great point of like the cultures are so different, and it's just a lot more things you have to put into effect. But I'm one of those people. Love conquers all. If y'all really love each other, then.
But one comment. Bro, before I came on this, right? I was on the gram scrolling, right? Because obviously I'm trying to find my followers. Yo, there was a post, bro, shook me to the core, bro. It was a black woman and a white man, right? The caption said, "This is how we defeat racism," and they had a mixed child, right? So I'm saying to myself, this has nothing to do with beating racism. I'm not even gonna get into it because we already know these points. But this is the irony, my guy. I look in the comments because I want to see what the world thinks about this. Mixed comments everywhere. But one thing that kept popping up was they're no longer together. They're no longer married. They're divorced. I was like, there you go. That's how you defeat racism by having a child and then getting home. I was like, bro, this is exactly why you can't be putting that belief on this. You can't say this is defeating racism because it's not.
Yeah.
I was so upset. I was like, bro, y'all giving this false this empty statement, like, yeah, for what? For them to not be together anyway.
Yeah, it's like the
thing.
Yo,
it's irony, bro. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like with a man wearing a dress, automatically, he's this Renaissance man. Like it's the same thing. Just because you're with a white person or with somebody outside your race, you're not
conquering nothing.
Racism. Yeah, like that's why you just gotta do you for you, man. Stop trying to do things because it's cool and because people are gonna stare at you.
Or more so, stop trying to put other people's expectations or like other people's relationships and have it meet your expectations. Like don't put other people's like what their lives into what you want it to fit. No. Like you're not them. That's not what it is.
It's a fact, man. And then I think the last thing we spoke on, polygamy. Get your bread up. That's what you into. Get your bread up, boy. Or lady.
You're ready.
That's the only way that's happening. Like, let's be honest. If you can't support, the hell they're gonna want to stay around when you got another person there for it. Like, it's the reality of the situation. Well, that ends this week's SOLtalk Sunday. And I'm going to see everybody next week.
You done know.
Yeah, I'll be reporting live from Florida. Hopefully we be in the chip.
Facts.
Luck.
Florida.
Flag football hero.
World championships. Yup.
And we're out.